And temperatures are finally starting to cool down. We'll tell you how cool, that's all coming up. Well, thank you. Yes, it is a cooler forecast, and the forecast is pretty well behaved compared to where we've been. It's been so hot, so this is much needed relief for most of us. As we take you to the coast, we saw a lot of fog out there earlier today. Santa Monica at the pier, it's cleared out a little bit, still a bit of cloud cover left over, and still a lot of people out and about on the pier this evening. Temperatures out there right now in the 70s, the 80s, Wrightwood at 72, 88 in San Bernardino, 78 for downtown right now as we head over to Orange County to the coast, 75, Long Beach at 76 in Santa Monica. We just showed you that shot, 74 degrees. So the big story tonight, the fog is starting to roll in. In fact, so dense that we're actually under a dense fog advisory. Technically, it kicks in at 10 o'clock. It lasts through 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Expecting visibility about a quarter of a mile or less. This is for the IE, the Riverside, San Bernardino County valleys right there, spanning down to San Diego and to the Orange County coastline as well. So we're going to be tracking the fog throughout the evening. For now, we're looking at mostly clear skies with just a little bit of leftover cloud cover at the coast. Earlier today, we made it to 83 in downtown. Average is 80 and record number is 108. Didn't get anywhere too close to that, but we were close over the last few days. So looks like most of us looking forward to that cool down. 65 low cloud cover out there tonight. Still looking at fog first thing in the morning in the basin. And by the afternoon, temperatures looking much cooler. We're at 77 degrees. That will be for downtown. Burbank 81, Ontario 86, Lancaster, the high desert, still a little toasty at 89, and Oxnard along the Ventura County coastline getting up to about 71 degrees. As we get a look at that 5-day forecast, you're going to head out there, Susie, and continuing to cool down over the next few days. That sea breeze kicking in, and it's really starting to have a bearing on our forecast. A lot of us pretty excited about this. If you're out and about on the pier tonight or planning to be, it's a pretty nice night out there, but for a change, you might need a jacket. A little cooler, the fog rolling in. In fact, we do have some dense fog advisories to talk about momentarily. For now, I want to show you temperatures outside. 70 in downtown, 73 in Pasadena. Up in Wrightwood, 64 for us. Long Beach, 72, and Laguna Beach currently at 71 degrees. There's that dense fog advisory we were talking about. It kicks in at 10 o'clock tonight, so in a couple of hours, lasts through 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. This is for the IE and for the Orange County coastline, along with the San Diego County coastline as well. Radar showing you mostly clear conditions at the moment, with the exception of the coast. A lot of that fog not showing up on radar, but it is out there, and it's going to continue to move into the Southern California into the overnight hours. 83 earlier today in downtown, average is 80. Record number is 108. We didn't get anywhere too close to that, and we're not getting anywhere close to that. We're actually dipping below average eventually as we head into the next few days. That onshore flow is going to continue to kick in. Temperatures continuing to cool down. That fog advisory in store, as we mentioned, and more cooling as we head into next week. We've got a completely different forecast coming up for you. So, of course, we're going to break it all down for you coming up in your extended forecast in just a little bit. So don't go away. Susie and Rick, back to you.
I think
minute we stepped out of the door today, you could just feel it, just this sigh of relief.
Yeah.
So much better outside.
it did, even though it was still warm in some
it was
places.
still
It
warm.
just felt a lot better.
Yeah.
than
But when
it
you
did
go
before.
from 100 to 85, it makes a really big difference. It really does, even though we are technically still above average. But who cares, right?
Yeah.
We're cooler. That's all that
Sure.
matters. Yeah, but we're actually cooling down even more. So if it's still too hot for you, we've got more cooling to do every day, getting incrementally cooler and cooler as that sea breeze continues to kick up. So let's take a look outside. First and foremost tonight, outside already a little cooler for us, 69 degrees. That's right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City. Downtown, you're down to 66, Burbank 73, Ontario 76, Lancaster 76, and Oxnard 64 degrees. So these numbers, compared to where we were about 24 hours ago, significantly cooler. We were looking at 80s and 90s around this time of night. No longer the case. A little cooler, a little milder, and continuing to get cooler over the next few days. There's that fog advisory we've been talking about along the Orange County coastline, spanning into parts of the IE as well. We're expecting very dense fog, maybe a quarter of a mile or less of visibility into the overnight and into the morning hours as well. Radar showing us clear conditions inland. A lot of that fog not showing up at the coast, but it is there, and it's going to start to thicken up, and It's going to start to span possibly even into the basin tonight. 60s into the overnight hours with a southwesterly wind coming in at about 15 miles an hour. First thing in the morning, we're mild. We're in the upper 60s, and by the afternoon, we're only topping out to the upper 70s. And we're saying only because we've been used to seeing 80s and 90s in downtown. Tomorrow, we're getting up to 77. Burbank getting up to 81. Riverside 88. Irvine 83. Lancaster 89. And Oxnard getting up to about 71 degrees as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So still a warm day, but not quite as warm as where we've been. We do want to show you your microclimate forecast. Take a look at the differences right here. The coast in the low 70s, the basin upper 70s. As we head into our inland spots, we're looking at upper 80s. Kicking it up a notch or two Friday, really not making a big difference. A little more sunshine inland, but then by the time we hit your weekend, Saturday and Sunday, keeping temperatures, well, much the same. By Sunday, a little cooler, though. That's when things are going to start to change. The real change happening as we head into next week. By Monday, finally here. It's finally here. We're really close to average temperatures, and eventually we're going to be complaining that it's too cold. So enjoy this while it lasts. Never keep you guys happy, right? Well, I think I can with this forecast. Temperatures are cooling for now. Not too hot, not too cool. The fog is moving in. A few people out and about on the Santa Monica Pier tonight. So we are still looking at pretty mild conditions as we speak. 68, that's right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City. The fog rolling into Santa Monica, but just south of Santa Monica along the Orange County coastline spanning to the IE there. We are looking at a dense fog advisory. It's kicking in at 10 o'clock tonight, lasting through 9 o'clock, and that's 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So expecting very dense fog. Take a look at this. Over 7 million of us affected, even down along the San Diego coastline as well. So that fog really starting to move in. Even if you're not under the advisory, we're still expecting dense fog along the coast, and it should be spanning to the basin as well. Meanwhile, temperatures are still pretty mild out there. Silverado at 71, Lake Forest 70, Dana Point, we're currently at 71 degrees. Westchester at 68, City Terrace 71, La Crescenta at 71 as well. As we head over to Encino, we're at 73, Santa Clarita at 73, Burbank also in the 70s this evening, and taking it up to the mountains, 56 degrees in the mountains right now, so a little cooler than everybody else. Adelanto at 73 degrees. So again, mostly clear inland, but there is fog at the coast. We're going to be talking about that fog and, of course, the cool down we have in store. That's all coming up in just a little bit. Back to you.
A little cooler.
It's a little cooler, and it's going to be a lot cooler as we head into the next few days. So we're taking a look outside right now from our Mount Wilson camera. We're looking at a little bit of low cloud cover out there. Other than that, it's nice and clear. The low cloud cover actually posing a dense fog advisory along the Orange County coastline, spanning into the IE. So it's not just the coast. Some of our inland valleys, the basin affected by the fog. You'll see that dense fog advisory in effect until 9 a.m. Technically, it doesn't kick in until 10 o'clock. But we're still looking at some fog already rolling to the forecast as we speak. As we get a look at temperatures right now, you're going to see 60s and 70s out there, 74 in La Habra. Over to Whittier, 74. Chino at 70 degrees this evening. Santa Clarita at 69. Up on Mount Wilson, we're at 66. Just saw that shot earlier. Santa Paula at 58. And then as we move over to Devore Heights, 68. Big Bear at 56. And over to the Lucerne Valley, we're a little cooler at 69 degrees. So mostly clear inland, but remember the coast is dealing with fog as we speak into the overnight hours. We're dipping down to the mid 60s. Then as we head into the morning hours, we're expecting upper 60s, so nice and mild, a low cloud cover out there, and a bit of a cooler forecast. We're technically below average as we head into tomorrow, 77, and that's going to be for downtown. Burbank 81, Ontario 86, Lancaster 89. As we head to the coast, low 70s for us tomorrow. So your 5-day forecast for the valleys and the Inland Empire showing us upper 80s. We're flirting with the 90s by the time we head to Friday. We're looking at a little more sunshine actually, and then a little more cloud cover, and we're bumping temperatures up a degree or so by your Saturday. But then we're making a big dip. By Sunday, temperatures really start to cool down. We're cooling down a few degrees, and we are feeling the relief since we're no longer in the triple digits. But by your Sunday, we're well into the 80s, and then by your Monday, completely different forecast. Take a look at that. Only getting up to about 76 degrees, and that's going to be for our inland spots. The coast even cooler, and the basin even cooler as well. So we're going to have those 5-day forecasts coming up for the basin and for the coast in just a little bit during the 9 o'clock hour, so don't go away. Susie and Rick, back to you. And Sylvia, temperatures are certainly cooling down. They're going to continue to do so over the next few days. Some much needed relief for the Southland. As we take you outside right now to our Mount Wilson camera, you're going to see mostly clear conditions, low cloud cover out there in the distance. As a result, that dense fog actually prompting a dense fog advisory that's going to affect at 10 o'clock, just less than an hour away. You'll see that right here under watches and warnings. It kicks in at 10 o'clock. It lasts through 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. This is for the Orange County coastline, also for the IE as well. Even if you're not under the advisory, we're still dealing with dense fog, especially along the coast, but it is starting to span into some of our inland spots along with the basin. Mild temperatures out there tonight, but temperatures will continue to drop over the next few days. Dana Point at 69, Corona Del Mar at 71 degrees. Heading over to Long Beach, 70, and La Crescenta currently at 68 degrees, so a mild night for you. As we head up the 5 to Castaic, 66, Gorman at 66 degrees as well. As we take you to the IE, temperatures very warm there. Actually looks like we're taking up to the mountains, 59 in Big Bear, so a little cooler for you in the Lucerne Valley, 72 at Adelanto at 73 degrees. So mild night, but again, we're expecting temperatures to continue to cool. Remember, we do have that fog advisory kicking in tonight as well. More on that in your extended forecast. That's all coming up in just a little bit. Lena and Sylvia, back to you.
I think Evelyn should do a little Gumnam style weather tonight.
Oh,
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see it too.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, maybe
Right?
next time I got to get my dance totally down.
We're happy, so we're dancing.
Yeah, there we go. We're dancing Gangnam style as well. The fog is back. Temperatures are cooler. We're excited. I think you're excited, right? I hope so. But you'll see right here as we get a look at the moon. A little bit of fog out there. Gorgeous shot. Starting to look like October, right? Looks like Halloween's finally around the corner. Doesn't feel like it, but it will soon. Currently, we're at 69 degrees. That's for Long Beach right now. So temperatures already starting to cool down. We do have a fog advisory, actually, not for Long Beach, just south of Long Beach, but it is intact for, well, the Orange County coastline spanning to the IE. So we'll go over that in just a minute. Temperature-wise, as we mentioned, 69 in Long Beach, 66. That's right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City. As we get a look at your watches and warnings, a dense fog advisory. Again, there it is. It kicks in at 10 o'clock, so that's just 35 minutes away. It's for the Orange County coastline and for the IE, for the valley right there. So we are looking again at dense fog and visibility less than a quarter of a mile or less. Radar showing us mostly clear conditions inland, not seeing a lot of the fog showing up at the coast, but it is out there this evening. Earlier today, we made it to 83 in downtown, so we were above average. By tomorrow, we're below average. We're expecting fog in the basin overnight, expecting it in the morning hours, and by the afternoon, we're in the upper 70s, 77 degrees. And that's going to be for downtown. Burbank 81, Ontario 86, Irvine 83, Lancaster 89, and Oxnard along the Ventura County coastline getting up to about 71 degrees. We're jumping ahead to your 5-day forecast right here for the basin in Orange County, upper 70s, so significantly cooler than today. We were at 83, so good 5 degrees. A little warmer by Friday and Saturday, but then shedding a few more degrees by your Sunday. More cooling and more clouds by your Monday. For the coast, we're expecting low 70s, turning to close to mid 70s by Friday and Saturday, and then shedding a few more degrees again by your Sunday, even cooler by your Monday. We're in the upper 70s, and for the valleys in the Inland Empire, upper 80s, flirting with the 90s, getting there by Saturday, but still far departure from the triple-digit temperatures we were looking at. As we head to your Sunday, cooler temperatures, a little more cooling into your Monday. Looks like we got time for one more. The mountains, 70s, turning to 60s, eventually turning to the 50s for the mountains by the beginning of next week. Lena and Sylvia, back to you. And temperatures gradually cooling down. We'll have your full forecast coming up.
Well, let's talk to Evelyn about this weather because we are liking this cool down. We hope it continues.
Oh,
It's
I'm
nice,
so happy you guys
Stay right here for maybe all through, what, February, March? We'll be fine.
Exactly, until we get it around to fall next year, and we're totally fine. Well, it's going to stay kind of around here. We'll be like plus or minus a few degrees. And then temperatures are going to start to drop off. And it's really going to start to, feel like
And then we'll
October.
complain again.
And then we'll complain. And then we'll say, oh, we're so cold. We want it to be warmer again. And it's not going to be at this point. So enjoy the cooler temperatures while they last. I know I'm looking forward to them. And I said earlier, I hope you are too. And I really do. So let's get a look outside right now. Degrees, that's for downtown. Pasadena at 68. Wrightwood, we're at 64 degrees. Apple Valley at 71. Lancaster at 74. 4. You'll see that watch and warning in effect. Actually, that advisory, dense fog advisory, is in effect, goes into effect technically in about 14 minutes to be exact at 10 o'clock. That's going to be for the Orange County coastline and the IE as well. So as it kicks in, we're expecting that fog to really thicken up. Really dense fog, in fact, probably less than about a quarter of a mile of visibility over the next few hours into the overnight hours. As we get a look at radar, we're not seeing a whole lot of fog out there, but it is out there along the coast. Inland spots still doing okay, even though we are expecting some of the marine layer to push inland and into the basin as well. That onshore flow is going to continue to cool temperatures down. Remember, we do have that fog advisory kicking in about 15 minutes, and we do have more cooling to do as we head into next week. So every day getting a little cooler, plus or minus a couple of degrees, and then by next week again, that's when things are really going to start to change for us. 60s overnight tonight with some low clouds. First thing in the morning, nice and mild, upper 60s. 77 in downtown, Riverside 88, Irvine 83, Lancaster 89, and Oxnard 71 degrees. So we are eyeing that trough of low pressure. It's continuing to dig into Southern California. With that, we're looking at cooler temperatures as we head into the next couple of days. Again, we could see temperatures on the up and up just by a couple of degrees, but we're really not going to see a lot of fluctuation. Things are going to stay much the same. But by next week, we keep talking about next week, but just want to show you how much cooler it's going to get. So for the valleys in the Inland Empire, we're starting with the upper 80s. We're getting close to the 90s by your Saturday. And then we're back down to the 80s, low 80s, dropping down a good 7 degrees by your Sunday and cooling even more so as we head into your Monday. As we get a look at the basin in Orange County, 70s and keeping things in the 70s, but we're going from the upper 70s to the low 70s with more cloud cover by your Monday. Checking in with the coast, low 70s turning to mid 70s, and by your Monday, we're in the upper 60s, so already a chillier forecast at the coast. For the mountains, sunshine across the board. We're starting with the 70s, getting down to the 60s. Eventually, by next week, really starting to feel like fall in the mountains. We're at 56 degrees. Lena and Sylvia, back to you.
All right.
And cooler temperatures affecting all of us tonight. We're going to have that full forecast coming right up. All right, Evelyn and the team. Let's take you to the coast. We're going to take you to the airport, to LAX. You're going to see right here a bit of fog out there. We're going to be talking about that advisory momentarily. Do want to show you cool temperatures. 64 right here, 66 at LAX this evening with a westerly wind. That sea breeze coming in at about 10 miles an hour. Visibility doing okay at LAX, but just south of the airport, we are looking at very dense fog, and as a result, a dense fog advisory in store. Temperatures across the board, 60s and 70s right now, getting cooler into the overnight hours and cooler as we head to tomorrow afternoon. And there's that advisory already kicked in, and it's lasting through 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. This is for the Orange County coastline and for the IE as well. Spans all the way down to San Diego County as well. Expecting visibility less than a quarter of a mile or less as that fog continues to thicken up. 83 earlier today in downtown, so we're still above average, but by tomorrow we're going to be below average. Over the next 24 hours, 60s, upper 60s, and by the afternoon we're in the upper 70s, much cooler than what we've been used to. That's going to be for downtown. Burbank 81, Irvine 83, Oxnard at 71 degrees for tomorrow. So as we get a look at your forecast, you'll see right here a little bit of low pressure working its way into Southern California. We're looking at cooler temperatures overnight and morning, low clouds and fog, and that will continue to be the case over the next few days. You'll see that in your 5-day forecast for the basin in Orange County. Upper 70s, flirting with the 80s by Friday, keeping things that way rather. By Saturday, a little cooler by your Sunday, and by Monday, more cooling for you. For the coast, low 70s all the way, and by next week, we're turning it to the upper 60s. For the valleys in the Inland Empire, upper 80s, turning to 90s briefly, and then back down to the 80s and 70s, and finally for the upper desert, the high desert right there, upper 80s, and then turning to low 80s and upper 70s by the time we head into your Sunday. Back to you.
Okay.